Also, I found that even like I prefer still using cheat chat. I love it a lot, dude. Like it'll show up on the stream.
So what's the plan of building today?
So today I would like to sort of translate my knowledge on, like a basic, backend service.
Doesn't Angular build HTML files?
It does, but my thing is that Express here is going to be we're not doing this necessarily for Angular. I'm learning this here because I prefer working, hey sweetheart, in JavaScript as opposed to Java. Actually, I don't necessarily dislike working in Java. It's fucking Spring that's awful. Thank you for the bit.
Yeah.
So I would like, if you're down for it, I would like to build a very rudimentary REST API. If you're interested.
Okay.
And
zero. We should move to the live VC, right?
We absolutely should. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
Before we started, I gotta.
Yeah, this live VC is the way I have it set up. It's a little different from how Digi does it, where like he has the waiting room. I just have people that through my interactions with them, engagements with them,
you just give them a role.
I give them a role. They're vetted. They can come up and be live. If there's a case where it's like, oh, I just want it to be a handful of people, I just make a group chat and do it that way. Now, granted, would it be nice to just say, "Hey, let's go into the live chat," and then like I have it all set up, it's like I can be very decisive. But I do personally like sitting in a live chat while I'm streaming, and then just people coming in, dropping out. That kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always been something I have heavily enjoyed.
All right, let me pull up the chat. Just in case of anything.
Yeah, the only other thing, one of the things I would love to do is I would love to like set up an Express chat or something, like an Express service that when I run it, it makes it. It basically sends out my sheet chat like this log, and if I just set it,
takes Twitch chat and logs it to like a log file.
Yeah, or specifically, I want to because this has it's like an IP kind of thing that it connects to. I'm not exactly sure how it works per se yet, and I would love it to be able to just give that to my moderators and say, hey, listen, here's one chat you have to monitor. Fuck everything else, like that type of stuff. I personally, one of the things I'd love to build is one of the things I'd eventually love to build is a mod view webpage that is just like a random bunch of link or whatever, and you can go up to it. There's nothing like mission critical or anything. It's just it just shows all of the information across all of my different stuff, and just allows I would like it aggregate all of the most recent comments on my videos, all of that stuff, just something you can look at
and be like, oh yeah, you can moderate this.
It's I'll put buttons and stuff to each of the mod views of the different services and shit, depending. I want it to be something that just throw up on a website. If somebody randomly finds it, who gives a shit? Whatever, I don't give a damn.
Do you want to protect it by login?
I probably, but my thing is that I kind of want to get a good chunk of my Java, my Spring framework knowledge transferred over to Express, and then I've never fucked with OAuth, authentication, security, that kind of stuff that much. I've completely missed that section of boot camp. Not necessarily, it was a whole thing.
Alrighty.
So So up here in the config, this is the information. I take it.
You can change this if you want, because this is going to be by both of us. If you want to change that, you can always change that. This is just config stuff. Package.json will change based on what we'll do. Like all that stuff. So, also save and paste, copy commands all work. You can save the file if you want to the disk. You don't have to worry about my disk. Don't worry, I have.
I'm kidding. Sorry.
How much disk space do I have left? I have 34 gigs. We are fine.
Yeah. Again.
All right.
Again, this is just we're gonna like I'll take like a JSON file that I already have like with some dud data that we can just pull in,
and we can also use SQL databases with Express. I have done that.
So I'm curious if I may ask a couple questions.
Yes.
Questions. Bear with me here. If I wanted to say, let's take my website for example. Let's say instead of using the fucking bullshit JSON system I'm currently using as a way to like sort of like have all of the data not be immediately accessible in the front end, but it's still fucking there. I would love it if I was able to if there was a way for me to embed I know it's probably not possible.
Like an editor application that you can edit that data. Yes, that is totally possible.
Not even that. I would love it if I could just embed that SQL database within the GitHub pages itself, but I don't know if that's even feasible. It's probably not.
You can have the GitHub pages make an XML request to an API where it stores your database and stuff.
Yeah, so the problem is that I'm poor and I don't know how I would be able the big reason I've done the JSON system that I've done is because I'm poor and I can't afford,
you don't know how GitHub pay. Yeah, okay.
I can't.
Well, we're not using S3. We're not using S3.
What do you
can
use?
I use SQLite. Lite, whatever it is. Just as an example, let me pull a couple of things, because I actually use databases for Discord bots and stuff like that.
Oh, SQLite. I thought you said light.
Yes, LIT.
Kidding.
And what do you use? I was also using
What do you use as your hosting, if you don't mind me asking?
I pay $648 a month for an unlimited everything VPS for like cPanel stuff, right? It's cPanel managed, VPS that I pay $648 to Namecheap for. It's not bad for the price. And I get unlimited bandwidth, unlimited storage, unlimited domains, and I can also run Node.js applications.
So I take it that it's so you said 638?
648. 6.48.
Okay, so on the Namecheap website, you go to like what?
I'm using Stellar Plus. I think that's what the plan is called. Let me.
Oh, is that under dedicated hosting? Or...
No, it's not on my Dedi. It's shared hosting.
Oh, it's shared hosting. Okay.
Yeah, Stellar Plus, and that's monthly. $648. Unlimited load sites, unlimited metered SSD, unlimited email, auto backup, website builder, AI tools, stuff like that.
Bill
you get
yearly,
quick
monthly.
Shit.
So you do the 648 one, the one that doesn't have the cloud storage.
Yeah, it doesn't have cloud storage. Because there's no point of having cloud storage. If you have unmetered SSD, right? So it means I can upload as many things as I want. The one getaway from that unmetered SSD is you can only have 200,000 files on the SSD, which is bullshit. But I get the
Wait, so they don't do it through data. They don't do it through the size of the files. They do it through the number of files.
The number of files, yeah.
That is so fucking sneaky.
Yeah, but I don't get up to that. Who uses 200,000 files on a fucking disk? I mean, I get Windows is like what 75K, but it's not like who uses.
I think.
Oh wait, they upped it by 100,000. It's 300,000.
And I've only used 24.
Oh, okay. So let me go over here. Bank account real quick, because honestly, I thought the hosting was like going to be a little different. Jesus Christ!
Oh no!
Because I'm used to AWS. You know what I mean? I'm used to like, and you know what? That might have to wait a little while because I only have $4.85 in my bank account. But yes, so I'm at least. It's cool that I at least know about this. We might have to do a once I get a payout from either Discord or Patreon. We might have to have a session to Electric Boogaloo. But on to Express. Thank you for answering my question.
Yeah.
On the because if I wouldn't mind just like doing this in such a way, because you want to know why, like the way I did the JSON stuff was that yes, the JSON is uploaded to the fucking GitHub, but the way I actually pull it is from the raw.github, like the raw.
Yeah, you pull it from the actual the raw link instead of doing / going through the directories, even though it's available there.
Right. So the way like I did that because I knew eventually once I'm in a different spot in life, I would be able to effectively
just put it down an API.
Yeah, put in an API link to it directly instead, or because one of the things I know I'm gonna have to eventually do is I'm gonna have to set up a secret key with this shit GitHub, and then like have a YAML call that shit, because I'd be fucking damned if I'd be damned if I'm gonna let having a free link to an API, even if it's unmetered and bullshit like that, is not a good idea.
Yeah.
But yes, let me keep this in my back pocket. I would love nothing more than to shift every domain I own name cheap and from GoDaddy.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I talked too much.
Yeah, that's alright.
So I see you built this index file here with the this is your logger.
Yep. It pulls the logger.js script here in the folder.
In this script is you have made.
Yeah, it's just basic login. You put the errors, warn. Yeah, and they're colored too. If you look down at the console below you, as you can tell, when we do info, it makes it blue.
Lovely.
Yeah, I figured out how to get colors working.
How'd you figure that out?
Looked it up.
Fair enough. Was it an easy fix or was?
Oh yeah, it was easy. This is basic. This entire thing right here is the color code. So
no shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 31, 33, 34, 36. These are
they're different colors.
Got it. Okay.
This is yellow because debug is yellow. Blue for info. Or is this yellow? I don't know. Error is always red.
Warning should be red. Warning should, in my mind, is always yellow. Error is always red. Info can.
Maybe I made this green. I have no idea what this color is.
I think green is usually green or blue is usually good for debug. Specific, but default to green though. Info is usually good. I usually default info to blue is fine for info, but I usually default it to a light gray or something like that. Personally, that's usually my flavor of it and stuff. But
cool. We can always figure out colors later on.
Of course.
Back here. So
you wouldn't happen to have a database that we can on your end we can use as a dummy?
Well, do we want to use your JSON file and transfer that to a light database, or what do you want to do with it? Because
happy to. So let me actually just send you the raw file itself.
I can just pull it off your GitHub.
Yeah, no.
It pulls on this page, right?
I'm suggesting you I'm here. It's the Hall of Shame thing. It's
the Hall of Shame one.
Yeah, the Hall of Shame. It's probably the longest lasting one I have. Plus, it's the only JSON that I have that is intended to be publicly available.
Okay, so I see. So this is already formatted like a database. Because you have ID, you have a name, you have a date band.
That
This is
was
unknown,
one of the
so-
things I was like thinking about. Like I'm like I eventually want
Yeah,
to
and then
turn these-
reason for ban. So that's totally fine. We can. Yeah, this is good sample data. I love how you just have an empty slot, so then you could just copy paste it.
Yeah, there
The
was
bottom here.
I was in
Alright.
this. I was in the struggle. It's like I'm, and some of the other ones you'll see will also have something called placeholder in them. So when I do Control F with them, I can add new data to like a new line item to all of the potential data out in one go, without having to really like go line by line by line.
What happens? I put a W there. That's fine. There's a W. Alright, we're good. So, we got your placeholder data, which is that JSON file you sent me. I put that in placeholder data.json.
Nothing much,
I'll
Stick
see
Bros. Wolfie is giving me a quick crash course in Express, which I just want to say for the record, I thought I was gonna pull up like a YouTube video and like watch it while you and I were like talking back and forth, learning that way. I was not expecting you to sit down and educate
And
me,
like
so-
be hands-on with it, yeah.
I just want to say I'm very gracious, and I was not expecting this, and I'm very thankful. This is
Okay.
This is kind of you. I really appreciate it.
So, the cool thing about live shares, we can start discussions as well. We can chat through this as well. That's pretty cool. So, if you're using this as a remote type of thing that you can remote into a machine, work on with a bunch of different people, there's a lot of different things you can do with it.
I have,
Pretty
a,
nice.
I have an entire developer role and / like section of my community where people are like coders myself. Like,
Oh,
so,
cool.
So like this is definitely something that I'd be down to do. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Get
don't-
like a public instance of this stuff.
Yeah, don't ooh my OO in our Discord who also has her YouTube channel. So
Alrighty.
she's
Well-
she's awesome. Hey Wizard. Go for it. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Well,
I
because
apologize.
we're working with Node, as you can tell by this require statement,
And you are, which file you in?
index.
Got it.
So you can always go to like the live share tab and then click on my name and participants, and it will automatically follow me. By the way,
Got it.
so
Okay,
then it
cool.
goes right to where I am. So basically, as you can tell, we're using Node.js to load things. And because we have package and package lock, yes, that does work. That will work. I can run it.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the cool thing
Oh,
about
you didn't save
JavaScript.
You didn't even save it, so it didn't even show anything. Sorry, though.
You're good.
So, with Express, we do have to define it. So, a normal const. Well, my handy AI developer thing is just gonna give me the answer for you. So, this thing, instead of being blue, like this log up here, this is yellow, and this is because this is a function that we're importing. Okay?
Right.
So,
Remember, I code with TypeScript with Angular. So like let's.
So JS is a little bit different, yeah.
Well, no,
so
JS is more free. TypeScript is is more has strongly typed stuff similar to Java. It has more rules. And I learned JavaScript originally, so I'm good. But what I am not familiar with is the require function here.
Yes. Okay. So instead of import this from this, require is basically import this equals from this. That's just basically what we're doing. We're doing the import function, but a little bit different.
So
we define it as a variable before
So
we move on.
is Express so ubiquitous that this is hard coded in JavaScript at this point, or is it? Or did you have?
No. Okay. So Express and stuff is also TypeScript. So if I were to go to
there's the
their
package locks. Okay, I understand.
Yeah. There's
Here's where you're different.
There's Live Express. Oh wait,
where-
is it really? Wait. Huh? Hold on. Is it actually only JavaScript? Because I'm only seeing JavaScript code here.
Yeah, I was under the impression that Express was primarily a JavaScript.
It might be a TypeScript. I'm not sure, and I think it's if you don't have TypeScript, it doesn't install the TypeScript one. I think it's smart enough to do that. I'm not sure. Again, I would have to figure that out. I can actually go to the Express npm package.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that the differences between TypeScript and JavaScript are like TypeScript is basically just JavaScript with like more rules. It doesn't necessarily prevent you from necessarily doing it. It prevents you from doing like risky things. It's
Yeah.
you know, it's not like necessarily like a, you know, like a more powerful add a bunch of tools. It does everything that JavaScript does. It just saves you from it just saves like monkey brain code programmers from themselves.
It might be only JavaScript,
which is
documentation,
which is perfectly fine, because if you can code JavaScript, TypeScript translates to JavaScript and vice versa. Like just because like you have strongly typed, you have strongly typed
TypeScript, that it doesn't matter. It's just going to convert back to JavaScript.
So it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Okay. Well, that's totally fine. So again, we define it as variable. So this is just basically import Express from Express, basically. That's just all that is.
Right.
And now
Express is defined in the package file.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. So because this is a function, we're going to need to call it somehow, right?
Right.
Well, with Express, we like to name our things. So is this going to be an API, or is this going to be like a web app or something like that?
Let's start with the API, because those I think are easier to.
Well, let's call this.
We can get an API, like a RESTful API, spun up in like an hour. Probably.
All right, so we'll call our API this.
Yep,
it's gonna be our API. And now that we have this, let's go ahead and make it to where it listens on port 3000. We can do this with API.listen. And
you get listen from the is listen.
Yeah, and what we need to define config though. Oh, okay, that's just gonna be okay. That's not what I wanted to do.
Okay, so
it's looking at other projects that I have done. Const config, and there we go. But we also need to define fs. So fs equals.
I'm gonna let you type, and then I'm gonna do a quick gauntlet of questions, if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
So, so taking it from line 5, what does FS stand for in this case?
File system. So basically, this is this package that comes with Node. That's why we're putting Node : is so we get the default FS package that comes with Node pre-installed.
And what does FS accomplish in this context?
It allows you to read and write files based on where you are. So like if we're running this file in, well, the Express stuff folder, fs read file sync is only going to read the config.json that is also in the same folder as the index.js file. And we'll read it under UTF-8.
Okay.
And then because this is a JSON file, we're also calling json.parse. JSON is a normal thing. You don't have to declare it. And you'll parse that file. Because this function right here returns the file data. So you want to parse that.
Okay, so just to reiterate, FS is the file system library in Node that allows you to
you can
read and write files, and because JSON files are special little boys that need to be told they're special all the time, you need to parse it out.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, understood. Okay. Cool. Moving on to line 13, I guess.
So again, we're calling the listen function of Express. We're doing express.listen basically. And we're passing in our port from the config, which we did define as 3000. And then we go to our logger and say, hey, once this starts listening, we're going to say Express server started on port, and then it won't log with the port.
So that's how it gets the. I'm so sorry for cutting you off. I know it's probably very frustrating. There's a half-second delay, and when I think you're done, I start asking a question or like something like that. I don't. Yeah, it's frustrating, and I appreciate your patience. But what I was saying, so the config.port, that's so like in here in the config file. So like if I wanted to say, I don't know, let's say I wanted to have like a secret key value or something.
Yeah, you could just basically do like keys, make that an array object with this. then what happens is any key that you put in here, you do config.keys, and then let's say a key is a dark key, right? We'll give this a variable of whatever. If you call config.keys.dark, you'll get the result whatever.
And furthermore, if you have like say like you're doing it like through GitHub or whatever other service, like they would usually have the keys formatted.
It would be that, but it would be in an environment variable. So you would have to get environment variables,
right?
Which is totally fine.
Right. So that's okay. I understood. And you define and you would have to define the environment variables in like a separate.
Yeah, separately. Yeah.
Got it.
From
okay.
This.
Cool. Awesome. That was just thank you for.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So then, the API is now listening to the on the port.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run a special command.
Okay.
I have a package globally enabled on my computer. It's called nodemon. And what it does is it basically allows me to run code. And then when we save said code, you'll see that it automatically restarts due to changes down at the bottom there.
I love that.
So,
that's a brilliant idea.
So now we do have this open. If you were to go to localhost 3000 in your browser, you should be able to see a message that says cannot get slash. Is that correct?
Where should I see this?
Localhost 3000.
Let me pull that up. Host 20, 42,000. That's the normal port I develop. My front end application.
2400.
Yeah. Oh no, 4200.
Oh, 4200.
I don't know why. That's just the default server port for
totally fine.
Development. And it's just hanging, like it's taking a long time to load.
It's hanging.
Thank you for the follow on Facebook. Random assortment of
let me reopen up
letters in a language that I am unfamiliar with. My apologies. Unable to connect.
Actually, okay. Close that. Go into VS Code. Go to the live share tab, and under shared servers, you'll see localhost 3000. You see that?
Yep.
If you click on
error
it
cannot get. Error
okay,
cannot get.
So now you have it working. Okay, cool. So as you saw, it says cannot get slash. Slash means basically the default route of, if you were to put a slash at the end of the URL. That's basically what that means.
It's the equivalent of like when you hit an API with get like slash get slash, and it just pulls all of the data like by default or something. Which you shouldn't do. That's something. Yeah, I gotcha.
Now, best practice with Express is always to put your listen at the end of the file, because JavaScript kind of reads like Python sometimes, and will read
Understood.
line from line.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move this down a couple of lines.
Just not because it needs to be, but just for visual,
visual aspects, and I'll make sure to have a comment above it so that we know what it is.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Anyway, so up here, line 13 again.
Okay.
We're going to define what we can do with this API. Do we want it to have a public serving, content delivery stuff? Do we want to serve HTML files? What do we want to do with this? Well, it's an API, so we want to serve JSON, right? Basically, JSON's like the world's best API endpoint type of thing.
Agreed.
So to do this, you're going to do api.use, and this is where we're going to use middleman.
When I was working at JP, they loved using Avros, and we eventually we ended up doing in our code was converting Avro to JSON to JSON.
That was probably fun for you all.
Yeah,
Now,
well, it's just data is a pain in the ass. It's just easier to work with JSON files.
Well, normally with a API endpoint in Express, when you send data from a GET or a POST request with JSON data going to the server, it can't read that data just automatically on its own. So you have to define it to use that type of data endpoint. We're going to use the use thing.
Like a Pojo.
I don't know what you mean, but
Oh no. Oh, sorry.
I guess.
Plain old Java object. And Java, it's a concept of it's an object. It's basically making an object. Like it's like like the getters, the setters, and all of that being defined.
Yeah, that stuff. So basically, with the use function, we're basically doing middleware functions. Basically, middleware is something that happens before it reaches our endpoint.
Yeah, I worked on middleware at JP, so I got
so we'll do express.json with a closing bracket like a function. All right, you don't have to put these things like you do in Java and everything else. We're just
good habit.
It's good habit that you do it. And so this will basically allow us to use any form of JSON objects that we send to the API. It can read that JSON object as a JSON object, and then say, "Oh, okay, here's if we send to an API endpoint, like we send a GET request to API/cats, right? And we want cat pictures to be returned. We're gonna say, hey, we want this type of cat. So under the type in our JSON, we'll do like. Let me pull up an example JSON file here. So then I can visualize this for you. If you can head on over to example.json.
Yes, absolutely.
If we do in an object here, we can be like types of cats, right? A type. Let's say calico cats, right?
Right.
And we only want it to have like count be like 5. When we send this data to the server, if you go back to index.js, we'll get into the GET request stuff soon.
If I remember correctly, it'll return as like an object. It's not going to return like as like.
It's not going to return as a text. It's not going to return as a string.
Yeah.
So basically, we can call from a body object whenever we get to that. Basically, be like request.body dot, and then whatever we put in our JSON, and it will get that value from that JSON object we sent. Basically.
Got it.
So let's do an example of that. Let's see what we can do. So how do we make a GET request that the server will accept? Well, we'll do API.get.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yep.
And then we'll specify our endpoint in quotation marks or apostrophes. You don't have to do... They're both string variables. I'm going to use apostrophes for simplicity.
Just do -get API -get like.
We'll do API
slash dash
cat
potato
for now, right?
Yeah.
We'll do API cat. Now, this is not actually acceptable code just yet, because now we need to also have a callback function. And we're going to pass in 2 variables with this callback function. First of all, the request, not that, and the result. I'm going to shorten these. It will automatically fill these. And again, we have to make this in array.
Can I show you real quick, like while you're typing like down here, what a getter looks like, a get request looks like in Java?
Sure.
So we're gonna do a public. Let's do public get cats, and then and it's just that and then this is presuming you have set up your
something to call that function.
Yeah, like you set up your service already. This is in the controller. You got to call back. Like you've already written out the logic in your get cat.
And because it's not a void, you have to do like a return stuff like that as well.
Yes. Yes, you do. Return. I think I'm butchering it a tiny bit. It's been a very long time since I've run it, but it's Brian Large's return. Get cats dot was just
get
or hold on, it's cat service
dot
get cats all.
And I'm like put a count if you pass an account.
Right. Well, here's the thing: you write separate endpoints based off of like what you're going to do, like the and here's where you get the get from. This shit here. This is just calling a fucking method.
Different function. Yeah.
The way you turn this into a GET request in Spring Boot is at request mapping
Dot get. Or no,
No.
you make it a function and then you type get in all caps there. Right?
at, and then request mapping.
And then get.
Or it's something like that, basically.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
yeah. That's versus this shit as your get
Where
request.
you- Yeah.
Like
So our request is basically what's sent to the server, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
this is the response, what we're going to send back.
yeah, it's like an async await, basically.
Yeah, so you can't. It's not an async
It's like
until you do this.
Yeah.
But other than that,
it's an async await or an observable or something similar.
yeah. So let's say we want to get some placeholder data, right?
Right.
Let's just say we'll use our band list as a data, right? So let's change this and let's do band list.
Yep.
And we'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's define our band list. So the band list equals the JSON.parse placeholder data, right?
Cool.
Because this is encoded in UTF-8, if I tab into it, yep, UTF-8, that will make band lists, and then we can go through the array. Because this is an array, when it reads, we can do band list 0 to get the first one, or you can do band list.length to get the length of the band list, basically.
Cool. And then what? You just write a for loop to iterate through all of the entries in
Well,
the list.
You can just send file,
Oh,
which would be fine. So, like, if we were to save this and go to this in our localhost thing, it will actually just return everything from that JSON file.
API and it's nice. Okay, cool. I actually love that. That's great. I wonder. I unironically kind of want to. Can I ask? Question? If I wanted to, honest to God, a part of me feels like I want to sort of refactor the way I pull and get my JSON data using Express in my Angular app, as opposed to like fucking using HTTP client. But and then again, because you can use Express, you can basically you don't have to necessarily pull this from a file in the system. You can also do it from a URL too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yep. Okay, cool. So this is cool. This is actually really cool. I like this a lot.
So let's say we want to look at a specific user ID. There's a more complicated setup, but I'll just put it in this GET request for now as an example, like a beginner example before you learn the more advanced stuff. Let's say our person requests something via JSON and says, hey, I want to limit, or like they do like question mark limit, stuff like that. We can check if they have sent that, right? So let's say if request.body, okay, this is going to be if they sent any JSON data to the server. Okay. This is a function that will run if any data in the body section of the request is sent to a server. Or you can do, copy this, you can do request.query, which is basically the question mark stuff at the end of the URL, like that.
Okay. So I'm just thinking about like how this feeds in. I'll have to like look up some tutorials separate from this on how to, so the way Angular, I built my app as I use Angular routing. And so the actual endpoints being used matter. And so I'm gonna need to like look and see like how I would go about like what would happen if I like try doing this and adding these systems, because one of the things I'd love to start doing, because if I don't know if you pulled up the site recently or I showed you, I made a paste bin. Right, I made a paste bin.
Okay.
And it just has a bunch of random fuck data in it, like just like not anything that's important enough for me to put display front and center.
Where would it be?
It would be here. I'll send you the link. So the way it's currently set up is
it's under app directory.
Yeah, no, it's DM'd it directly to you.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so one of the things that the purpose of this is that I'm starting to do videos with that. I want to start doing videos, like at least one video a month that is like actual like research, investment, and I want to have a place to paste all my sources. And and this is one of them. And granted, the way it is now is it's a summary of what the fuck it is, a name, and a link to the to the text file that is posted on GitHub.
Yeah.
Clunky, not fantastic, especially the mental health resources section, which I would prefer to look nice. Eventually, what I prefer
the amount of Git requests that your website is sending is concerning. I'm currently looking, considering it sends to Amazon. This fucking video. Oh, it's Twitch, because your Twitch is embedded somewhere.
That's Twitch. Yes, it's Twitch. That does that. I literally get rid of Twitch, and like the amount of fucking, things gets cut in half.
Okay, hold on. Get pastebin.json. Here's your pastebin data. Pull that out of me, bro. And again, it's just okay. Yeah, I see it.
So, what I would like to do is, and part of the reason I wanted to learn Express so I could sort of like, because like I've been trying. What I want to do is I want to have like do himedia.gg/pastebin.
Yeah.
Question mark. Name equals, and then like have like the fucking name of the thingamabobber, and then have it, and then have Angular and like create a specific page that displays the data in a much nicer fucking way. Then
okay.
I also have a blog functionality on here using Markdown. I'd eventually like to get that to work, but the big hurdle that, and the reason why we're doing this is so I can sort of like is kind of like,
to learn it.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I continue. We persist. I apologize.
Yeah, you're good.
Anyway, so request body just gets the data in the body. Request query does the same thing,
but with the question mark at the end.
JavaScript.
Oh wait, you commented it. Yeah, if you press Control / it does that.
Yeah, my bad.
Which is totally fine. But yeah, the question mark there is querying the body as JSON objects or any like raw data that they'll send you the server via a body object.
All right, so I think
we use express.json to make sure JSON goes here.
Right. All right, so I think I kind of got the gist on how to like get like on how to like set up these set up the an Express API. So then. If we could, would you be willing? Could we try and do like get say use the raw link from my GitHub to maybe try and pull it directly from GitHub instead of pulling it from a
local file?
Yeah.
That's gonna need another thing. So I'm gonna put out of this.
Yeah, sorry.
So we're going to install a new package. To do this in code, you do have to add a package called request.
Okay.
Request is pretty outdated. It's not supported anymore. It's deprecated. But
what is the preferred thing to use?
I use request because, one, it works. I know how to use it. Everybody else uses it.
What is the new hotness that people say you should be using? Just for my own learning later on.
I'm looking at. Hold on, let me look at. There's a lot of different things you can do. Node fetch, Axios.
I'm familiar with the fetch API,
unfetch.
right? I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, the fetch API basically. There's alternative libraries to this and stuff like that. But if you want to do it server side, you do have to use request because it's one of the most reliable things I use.
All right, let's do requests. Let's do requests because
okay. So let's say we want to pull the band list from something different. Well, first of all, request is a little bit different. So let's make a function. Let's call these band list gets. I cannot put a space there. And we're gonna have this return something, right? So first of all, we need to make a local variable that's called options. And in this, we're going to make a array like this. And we're gonna, you don't need this method because this, I don't know why it gave you that. But you're gonna need a URL. So let's just say, band list.
I have the URL right here.
Have it? Okay. Oh.
Sorry about that. Select.
Yeah, do that. Okay, so there's the shame list, right? So now we can do, let's say, if we needed any headers, we could do headers in here, but because we have a URL, that's all we need. And now let's go ahead and parse that data. So request dot get, and we're going to do options, and my thing is going to autocomplete for you. So we'll have a function here. It's going to have an error, a response, and the body. Response is basically the raw response. Body is just basically a parsed version of it, type of a thing. So because this is a JSON object, it's going to return application.json. That's already going to get converted to JSON with the body. So let's go ahead. Yeah, and we'll just return body.
Body. Dot.
That's it.
Oh, it's auto for. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, you don't need.
Once you do this, you don't have to return it out of this or set a variable out of here. No, you just return body. Boom.
Well, no, I was talking about return body dot JSON parse, so you don't have to do any of that. Just okay.
I don't think you do, but we'll
see.
It will warn me if needed.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and save that. And we'll call it in here. And see, instead of const bandlist, let's just do bandlist again, and we'll see if it works.
Isn't because bandlist get was defined further down, it's not gonna.
No, it will do it.
Okay,
I've done this before, so yes, this will.
It's not doing the Python thing.
Yeah, it's not doing the Python thing here, but the listen stuff will, because you're stuck in that loop at the end of the file, basically.
Got it. Okay.
So, yeah. So if I go ahead and refresh this, oh, we got an error. Request is not defined. We did not define response request. Require request. There we go. Okay, that should fix that error.
So the require stuff is basically the same as like an import statement.
Yes. I think this is where we're going to start using async functions.
I spent 3 days on them in boot camp and haven't touched them since.
Okay. Now, using async functions like this, we have to make this also async. And make this return a new promise. And then put all of our code in. So we're going to return new promise. And you're going to see, this is VS Code automatically doing that instead of return new promise, right? And now we can do resolve as of this, and we'll do bodies. So this is how you do async resolving in JavaScript. So resolve means once we await this, right, to get this data filled out, we can send that once it's done.
So just to reiterate, this is just going to be listening.
Oh, that's not a
so
function.
So the API get here is just going to be listening, waiting for the for this to go off, and then upon getting it, it's going upon getting hit, it's going to run
To request it,
Yeah,
and then once it gets it, it resolves it, and then this will send to the user.
So I didn't even see that you wrote the promises.
Oh, yep, there it goes. It's working.
Resolve.
If you refresh, if you go to this, I'll send you in DMs. It should load, hopefully.
Yep, there it is. That's the
Everything that's there. I think this is a text object because it wasn't pretty print like this did. If I were to do, what is it, await ban list get, like we do this and like this, and we just do
the resolve function is in promises is basically how you is basically how you send the resolution of the async await stuff.
Yeah. That because when you do this, it returns that promise and says wait, and then that will
Got it. Okay.
basically have that data. It will return that data once that promise is done.
So let me
Basically.
refresh this.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Now
There it
it's
goes.
pretty
Yep. Nice. Awesome.
So what I did is I just JSON parsed it when it comes back from the function, and then sent that to the user, which then made it application JSON.
Nice.
So this is a GET request. This is just normal GET request. You can do post, put, delete, whatever the HTTP methods are. You can do everything in Express.
Yeah, and those concepts kind of transfer over for me at this point.
Yeah, so like, if you do want to get a post request, you return different data based on, oh, I want to post someone to the ban list, right? You can make this a post endpoint as well. Be like, oh, okay, I'm going to post with some user data, basically their name, why they were banned, with a date and time, stuff like that. And then you can put it into that file and it will just work.
On a completely unrelated note, have you ever heard of the Ionic framework?
Ionic framework, no.
Here, I'm sending you a link. Check this out. I think you'll like it. It's cool.
Cross-platform app development. Mobile SDK for the web. Ionic CLI, get started. What's this?
You have to fucking sign up for this just to get access to the docs?
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. I pressed get started and led me to fucking
to a sign-up page.
No, that's because there's a fucking get started button. That's just predatory. You go up to docs and guide, and then you're in the docs.
Oh.
And
well, I signed up anyway. I don't care.
Fair enough. But this is cool because it allows you to build an application using
For a phone. Yeah.
for using JavaScript, and then it compiles it into and then it uses Cordova to compile it in Xcode and Android Studio.
Well, don't you have to get a Mac to develop for iOS with this? Because
yes, you do, but like fuck iOS broadly.
I tried installing a Mac OS virtual machine. Got to a point where I installed Mac OS, right? Got it working. But then when I updated it to the latest fucking version, it kernel panicked every boot. I was pissed.
It's just Apple just wants their walled garden.
It's because it's not on an M1. That's why. Bullshit.
Yeah, no, the Xcode, like, you can't deploy through Xcode unless you're on an actual Mac. It's terrible. Yeah. It's awful. It's like you have to pay $100 up front first of all, and that's
well, no, you don't. If you want to local develop before you want to publish stuff, that's free.
Yeah, but you still need to do it on a Mac.
Yeah,
which is just dog shit. Android supremacy. But no, I just thought I'd share this with you because, like, I know that, like, when you code stuff in the front end, you do it in pure HTML, which is fucking weird. But so I just thought.
Oh, like, yeah.
That's another thing. I have another package in here called EJS. It's like a HTML renderer type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can code JavaScript in HTML, passing in like node functions and shit.
Don't you just use React, my brother in Christ?
I don't even fucking like React, but if you don't want to touch HTML ever, just use React. Just use React.
I don't like
made for-
TypeScript.
It's not TypeScript.
Yeah.
Angular is TypeScript. React is just JS. They've got like some bullshit like React
Both of them
specific
are
stuff.
Django for me, man.
Dog, I promise you. If you you don't, I was the same way. I want to just code in HTML and JavaScript and CSS, and then I discovered my first framework, and dog, I was lost, but now I'm found. I promise you, it doesn't have to be Angular. You can do Vue, but oh Lord, bro, I promise. The grass is greener on the other side. I promise.
Toodaloo, motherfucker!
Oh, was Char was in here?
I believe so.
Okay. Anywho, but as we continue, I'm sorry for the derailment.
Don't mind me. I didn't just make a file. I totally didn't just make something.
Hey,
You'll find it.
Can I Hey, we're collaborating on this shit, right?
Yeah. Put anything you want in here. It doesn't matter. I'll show you how you can render this.
I'm deleting that shit. I'm making it.
Ah.
No, watch. I got it. Hold on, please. I beg of you.
If you open up a terminal, it doesn't modify the files on this end.
Oh, okay.
I have to open a terminal on my end. There
Okay,
you go.
thank you.
Just a new one.
Host, shared, demo, let's do.
There should be one that's called CMD. If you go up to the live share area, there should be... Oh, there's two CMDs. The one that doesn't have the node stuff in it should be a new one for you.
Just
Okay, the one that I made read and write is the one that you should go to.
I'm not going to install this shit globally because I respect you.
It doesn't work on... You have a terminal on your end. That... Oh, wait. Now you're typing. I see you. I don't want Angular.
It's just on this one. I beg.
Look at how fast mine's gonna go. Oh, wow. Unsupported engine. What NPM am I using? What? Oh, man. Hyphen. If I can type it right. Damn it. How does that not pass? Oh, it's one fucking subversion out of date.
That's goofy. Anyways, it's installed. It should be installed. Why isn't it installed? God damn it, I hate thing.
Oh, did it not install because bad engine?
Apparently. That's fuck me, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna fail again.
That's deeply frustrating. But
Hold on, do you want me to update? I can update real quick. I would have to reopen VS Code though.
Hold
if I do
on.
that.
NPM.
That's updating everything in my global registrar.
Well, you know what? It's probably important that you do that.
Added 48 packages, removed 105, changed 46.
You know what? Fuck it. Who cares?
Wait, you put it in the wrong folder.
Oh,
That's why. You were installing globally because there was no package.json. Hold on. Now we'll install to our local thing. It did install globally. Sorry. Should install now.
Why is it not?
No, it did not. What? Huh? It didn't. Oh yeah, there it goes. Dependencies, Angular CLI. It's in there now.
Okay, cool. NV new Express app UI.
NG.
Why are you doing this to me? What is the purpose? Why do you want to hurt me?
NG, is it supposed to be a command? Hold on.
NG. Hold on. Wait.
NG is not public, so I don't know what you're talking about.
So then,
Is it ANG?
no, it's just NG.
Well, NG's. I opened up a new CMD outside of VS Code, and it didn't say.
Maybe it's because we didn't install Angular globally.
No, it's probably because we did install Angular globally. But what happened is we're on a bad engine, so it doesn't install some packages.
Got it. There it is.
Oh, there we go.
No. Get fucked, Google. Would you like to share a pseudonym? No.
No. You didn't press enter. You gotta press enter.
CSS?
Which CSS or what? Why do you not use Sass?
Never
Sass
used-
is better.
I'm-
Sass is better. I
I've
used Sass. It was so much better.
I've never used it.
Sass is really fucking cool. You can program functions in CSS with Sass.
That's actually pretty cool.
Uh-oh. It made a separate fucking thing. We have to build it. We have to build the HTML files from that.
What do you mean? No, you don't.
Do you not see the new Express App UI folder
No, I
that I
don't.
just made?
I don't see it.
It's now
actually.
green. Because
I-
now it's going GitHub-wise. It's now trying to commit to a fucking GitHub entry, and it's asking me to type in my passphrase.
What are you talking about? I'm not seeing any of
Oh,
this.
I have GPNG keys for GitHub stuff. So let me let Angular do its thing.
There it is. There it is. Okay, so we have the public, we have the script, there's the index, here's the app, here's the main app component. Awesome. Cool. And you run this ng serve.
Yeah, you need to go in there.
Sorry, my apologies.
Oh, fuck! Hold on.
ng serve. Yeah, there it is.
Building.
I love how it has a little loading thing.
I've never
Cool.
seen it. By the way, never seen it do that before.
Localhost 4200.
I don't want to... I'll look at that for you. How about that? 4200. Oh, wow. Congratulations! Your app is running!
Yeah. Well, here's the cool thing, right? So, yeah,
It's got all of Angular shit on it.
Yeah, well, you know what you do? Watch this.
Just do it.
There. It should.
You need to save the file.
Yeah, I usually have
Oh, okay. Look at my screen share.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's not pulling up on my end.
No, my screen share.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, so ideally, like basically, what I would want to do is that if you go into the app component TypeScript file here, where in the app component class, say I would want to like, get the data from the JSON the placeholder, from the raw thing, and then what I would want to do is I would want to use the API
Wait, it shared you 4200, by the way.
It's what?
It shared you localhost 4200.
Yeah, no, I clicked on that and it just wasn't pulling up for some reason for me. I don't know why.
I don't know how it did it automatically, but it did. That's
Well, no, it auto opened.
It auto opens because it's running off that.
That's
Well,
cool.
when you look at the Angular at the package.json, when you do ng
Yeah.
oh yeah, you serve and it's a whole thing. But yeah, no, it's I like it. I like Angular and since
I love how the version is just all zeros.
yeah,
Right, it's true.
If you take a look down here at the roots, this is how you do your Angular routing and stuff. And
Oh yeah, so then you can pass through. This is something that I believe. Okay, so I was doing like a Discord activity thing, right? Remember when I started like doing that and programming the Fanoia panel thing?
yeah,
Discord does the same thing where you have to like go into their thing and define routes, and then those routes will contact different servers and do that. It's like a proxy thing. Basically, I'm assuming.
Right.
So like you could have /API go to api.highmedia.gg instead of being on your main domain, but it's proxied, so no one ever knows where it goes to. And then you can block requests that don't have the regular header, you know, that's Angular's like special header that you can do.
So what I want to eventually do is I want to have the routes here. Like I want to have that that question mark, and then like you know, be able to like pull up the paste bin. Hey Saul, what's going on? I'm just doing some coding stuff.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, do that because I want to like, you know, I'd like to start like, I don't know, like if I want to like share, you know, data or something, like say, hey, listen, here's a, you know, like if you need some,
All right,
like, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But you know, I think the issue that I was personally having with my VS Code here, with my application, was I think the biggest issue I was kind of struggling with was I was trying to figure out a way to filter it, but that's more of an Angular issue. And I think it's because I think it's because I was using HTTP client. I think I want to kind of like go back and refactor it and use promises instead. I think promises might be a better way of doing it rather than using the HTTP client library. As easy as it is to use.
Yeah. Totally fine. I guess
I really appreciate you you know, giving me the lowdown on Express like this, by the way.
Yeah.
It's
experiment real quick and just see what you can do if you want to. And I'll just watch your screen and just see what you're doing.
Yeah, and I've got access to the local host.
Yeah, you should have access to everything.
Yeah,
so,
that's fine.
Mess around with Express, see what you want to do.
You gonna go quiet for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna go quiet. I'll see what you want to do. If you run into any errors, I'll probably just pop up and say, "Hey, this is how you do it." I build the thing and try to show you the solution.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, I should not make the smaller. Wait, I'm muted. Sorry. You do not need a separate function for this stuff.
Oh shit, really? How so?
No. So this you don't even have to put. Get rid of that. Get rid of all this because you can just do, like I said with the query, like the if request.query, right?
Oh yeah, because I was about to like do that, but then I realized I should probably go into the promise and make it a bandless get by user.
Yeah, you can you can make a separate function for this if you want. But what you can do is when a query, right, is being sent, you do not have to specify like a separate thing, because then they're like, whoa, not acceptable characters. You can't put like question marks and shit. So yeah, so write anything that you want with the question mark user equals this. Just write, whenever you do this, request dot query. So anything behind the question mark will become like a JSON object. It formats.
Oh, okay. So how does that look?
So question mark user equals something, right? You want to see what that user equals something.
Yeah.
So you just do user, and that will be your variable that you'd use to get the question mark user equals, and then whatever's after that equals will pop up as what I've highlighted here.
So let's do.
So if you were to do a question mark ID equals and then a number, it will pop up that number as query.id.
All right. So then, if I go to API ban list thing, whatever. Question mark user equals that. Okay, so it's okay. So the So
refresh it again. You typed KYTO Kudo 9H065.
Yeah, I just.
You want to know how I know that? I made it log to the console as an info area, so I can see it.
Nice.
You could also do debug if you really want. Let's see what debug is. What color it is. Refresh it again. Debug is a brighter blue. If you go to the first terminal, it's a brighter blue.
Yeah, I'm looking. Alright, so
anything, like if you were to just do regular query, I think it would just return a JSON object. So if you refresh again. Yeah, it's just a JSON object. It doesn't show that here in the function for the debug, but if I were to console log, try that now. Yeah, JSON objects. Look at that.
Nice.
So
then the question I would have is, how do we get it to just show that then?
You would basically, let's pass in the user object, right, as this function. Make sure we have a variable so that we can pass in and search by user, right?
Yep, and then down here.
And then instead of resolve that body, we're going to do let's do a for loop. Okay.
Is it
user equals user, resolve that.
Okay. The question I would
I did it for you. Look at that.
Yeah, the question I would ask is there a like a cleaner way of doing this, or is this just like the best preferred way of doing it?
You can do this for loop. I'm not sure how you would get, because you do use arrays, right? I'm not sure how you would get the user by.
Fair enough. For loop it is
that, yeah. For loop would just be better because you're actually accessing the data for each of the things that we scan. So like say, let's pass that in. So we'll do const band user equals await band user list get user by user, and then pass that, and then res dot send band user, and then return, because we don't want it to continue running code after that. If you refresh it with that user thing, it should just pop up all of its data.
Do you not have to like do like a return?
You do return here. You don't have to. It returns null. But it doesn't affect the.
What I mean is you don't have to type out like return null. You can just type.
No, you can just type return, and then this will just break. This is basically break.
Okay,
just break code. Stop. From right here.
Cool.
Because usually when you were refreshing and we were logging that user that you were requesting for, right, it kept returning the entire ban list, right? It's because it didn't stop the code after you were done running what you needed. That's what. So if we didn't have this return, right?
No, I know that.
Well, no, there's an error here that will actually occur. So refresh
in
your browser.
Remember how all the Java gets and stuff I used to do? We would have to return stuff. A lot of times, if we didn't want to actually return shit, we would just return null, but it would still run the code that we had written ahead of time. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, just refresh it. Just do it.
Yeah,
I'm refresh it.
I am refreshing it. It's there.
What? What's happening?
It's being a little. It's taking its sweet time. Reloading.
Wait. Oh, hold on. That was an issue. Question mark user equals. Obviously, we're not going to put in here. Oh, I see what it's trying to do. So it's because it's not able to return anything. It's trying. I'm not sure what's happening. It should be erroring out. That's what it should be doing. It's apparently not doing that. But basically, because you don't need to return 0, doesn't it? If you want to do that, that's fine. Just
it emotionally it makes me feel safe.
Yeah. Basically, if you were to send one res function and then send another, it would error out and crash the app and say, "Hey, you can't send this twice." That's basically what it was doing. Yeah, you can also do an else statement and then just get rid of this return entirely.
Yeah, just cover our bases. You know what I mean? Let's try that. Save. Let it rerun.
Yeah, if you rerun it, it should work now. Still work the way it was.
Yeah, because the response.send still sends, so
yeah. And if you want to make something into a JSON object,
that's not the right thing. There we go. It's better.
All right, my mother came in and asked me a question. Anyway, so basically, you can do res.json here instead, and it will send it as a JSON object. You don't have to do that. You can also put a JSON variable in here, and it will just recognize it. But res.json is just for JSON objects. It's just a way of saying, "Oh, I want you to send this JSON back," instead of whatever I'm sending. Yeah, if not JSON like that. Oh wait, whoops, that's the wrong thing I wanted. You do it all lowercase, like that, and it will send whatever that is. So instead of it just showing the data that's in band user, it will say in things, then it will do band user, and then in that is going to be another JSON object that will list all the stuff.
I would just like to see the query actually work.
Yeah, so then send would be your best option because you're just sending the data from the lookup.
Okay.
At that point.
So I'm curious, why is this not? Is it working on your end?
Which one? 4200?
Yeah, so let me send you this query real quick and see.
Okay.
Again, I want to say I know that we're getting closer to here. I do want to reiterate and say I'm very grateful for your help with this. It's helping me this has been a lot easier to understand and help.
This could be because this person doesn't exist.
What do you mean? The person that teaches me well?
No, the person that doesn't exist in the file. This could be that.
Oh, you know what? I know why. It's because I just realized. I think why it's being a fucking issue.
It's not user. It's name.
It's name. I just picked that up.
Oh yeah. Okay, save that. You can save files.
Yeah. There. Let me just
connection reset. It's refused to connect. Why did it break? Okay, error time.
I'm just gonna do.
Oh, we've got to a what? What happened? Oh, you equaled this to name. That's why. Oh,
Yeah, just going back and refactoring, and I can't use user, and I can't just do replace all because like I think there's a couple things that very
that's
much.
not loading.
Get user by
Else. Resolve. We'll just put a JSON object. Error. Not user. No. Res.send name. That's what did you do? You gotta send the query. Hold on. You didn't name. And user not found. That's what it says.
All right. Then let me just pick somebody. Linda Martin 1, the person whose interaction made me want to
Lose it.
name equals.
Yep. ID, name, date, band unknown, reason for ban solicitor. Yep. All that data's there. And it only returned the JSON object that contained that data
Awesome.
for that user. If you look at my screen share.
Yeah, no, I got it. It's working on my end too. It's in rich
Cool.
text.
Yes, enriched text. And then pretty print, so then it formats.
So there's a part of me that's thinking I could probably just load this shit into. I probably don't necessarily need to set up a database just yet. I can still use the JSON shit.
You can
For
still use
front
the JSON, and you can still write to JSON. You can add stuff to JSON too. But it would be harder because you would have to...
There will be absolutely no footer posts in this shit. I am manually writing this shit because like all of this entire website is frontward facing on GitHub.
Yeah.
No sensitive information is on this bitch. None. Not a single lick of it. This place is a glorified info repository and application hub. I am not taking in anybody's inputs. I'm not, because like I do not want to get into the culpability of data security.
Yeah. Oh, like for me, I like, you know how I do my overlay, right? The Spotify overlay that I do.
If I do it, it'll be through single sign-on through like Google or some shit.
Oh yeah, my overlay uses Twitch. I just logged in with Twitch on this, right? And I can go to settings and access my settings. And it also has a copy overlay URL. You press it, copies your overlay URL.
I think that's so fucking cool. I wish one of these days, if you want to like do an ego stroking session and like show me and like go line by line and show me how you built that one of these days, I'd love to do that. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah. This is just using Spotify API to get the data. But I pull it server side. I don't pull it to not expose like what is it, keys and shit, like tokens.
You know, it would have been so nice to have been like a developer like back in the like 2011, 2012s, back in like the throes of like Web 2.0.
Like, hold on.
Back when every website had a fucking API, and God, that would have been something, wouldn't it have been?
Let me load up my what is my web server on there? That's not the one.
Would you be kind enough to would you be okay I have a copy of this folder on my desktop too, don't I? Or is it just you?
It's just me.
Okay, cool. Could you do me a solid when we're all said and done? Make a repository.
Oh yeah,
and send me the link. I just appreciate.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah. I'll make it private and.
You don't have to make it private. Dude, keep that shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, dude. You should make as many of your repositories public as possible. Like you like, how old are you? You're like what, 19, 20?
I'm 18.
You're 18. I'm gonna be dead fucking real with you, dude. You work your McDonald's job, do all the Fanoia EN stuff. I unironically believe you should be going on like Indeed and shit. And like when they ask for your resume, you just send them an HTML file of github.com/your username.
Yeah.
Like you could get a job working as a developer tomorrow if you put it in. Because I'm not saying I'm not saying I haven't been trying, but like you're like really fucking good on a level that I'm not. Like you're genuinely impressive, scarily.
Like here's my Spotify data. I can show you this because one, it's not full tokens, so we're fine because it has these dots. It makes it to where it doesn't show the full token. So as you can tell, I have 0. I have Ioku, me, and then another friend of mine. These are your Spotify tokens. When they expire, when they refresh, the refresh token, right? Then it says S token renew. If this is 1, that means we want to keep renewing it every 30 minutes. If you don't, when you log out and stuff, this will change to a 0, which is false. This is basically Boolean.
Right. How did you get that XML file the other day from YouTube? For the YouTube stuff, yeah. How'd you end up getting where'd you get that XML file from in the first place?
You can get that from YouTube's actual website.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Let me look at my history real quick. Nothing I gotta hide from it, but I'd rather just not show it.
Well, here's the thing. Only thing that people can see on my stream right now is just VS Code, so you're safe.
Okay.
Hey, I'm good. I'm hanging out with Wolfie here and learning some code stuff. We're gonna probably wrap up shortly here in about like 15 minutes to a half hour, but
here we go. Yeah, it's from YouTube's own website. See, youtube.com/feeds/videos.xml channel UID.
So what you're saying is that I could programmatically throw my live stream up, like read the XML, throw the iframe like link up in a from the fucking XML.
Alright. This is the only thing you need from this XML. It's this first video ID.
It's the video.
That's all you need.
Jesus Christ. You know what? And it's done by like the most recent entry, right?
Yeah, it's done by the most recent entry. So this is your full screen video. This is your vertical. Because you can see the title here.
Does it have any connotation on whether or not it's a live video?
No. This is live, right? And then you have regular videos, right? This one right here. This is a short.
Okay. That's an old fucking video, too. Shit.
It was published the 26th. It was published today. Part 6.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, no, that was I was thinking it was a different video. Yeah. Okay, so it's in order of, like, what the... So the only thing I worry about is that if I published a video while I was live streaming, it would cut the YouTube live stream off. If I just got the most recent one.
Unfortunately, yeah. That would be a thing. If you read from the first.
Oh, then you know what I could probably do as a workaround? Type it. Do I have it check to see if the description has the word it has the like parsed out for hashtag live, and in the description of like the live streams, and if it is, it'll pull it up. It'll ignore it. If it doesn't have it, it ignores it. That's probably okay. That's not a bad way to do it. This is one of those things where I like think about like I don't feel like I have like mad imposter syndrome as a developer, and then I see shit like this, and I'm just like, oh wait, all of this is within my like capabilities, and I can think on a macro level on how I do this, then this, then this, and this, and then it works. And it just it's like a fuck. It like you feel like a fucking superhero, bro.
I also even have when people sign up.
Nice.
When they first get entered in, created at times.
That's cool.
So
that's actually really cool. I just want to say
that's automatic with SQLite because
okay.
SQLite automatically does create it at, update it at, and the ID system over here.
And is SQLite an embedded database, or is it just something?
It's a file. It's literally a file stored on your system. See? This is the file I pulled.
Holy shit! I could unironically, like,
integrate it and then build the database with whatever's in that database.
You know what I would actually do? I would probably make a repository that is just that file, like that, like it's just like the SQLite repository.
But you have to have Angular parse that file with the SQLite or SQLize library node.
And there's probably a fucking npm like library for that shit.
Yeah, it's SQLite 3 and SQLize.
That's it.
Yeah, because this thing is reading, like, my overlay thing is a Node.js app.
Huh. Okay, shit.
It's an Express actual thing. Like if I go to my index, which contains the entire fucking code, how this runs, I use SQL SQLize right here to read the database.
I know SQLize. Nice.
And you can use that with like MySQL, Postgres, stuff like that. It's all one universal package that I don't have to. If I need to switch a database to like a public, endpoint somewhere that's not on the file system, I can just use different code.
I like JavaScript so much more than I like other programming languages. Like, I really wish I focused more on that. Like, I wish I didn't go down the Java route. Mm-hmm. But I wanted a job. Motherfucker.
I even store user settings in this database.
No shit, really?
Yep. So you can also add tables. So user settings right here.
Is there
mine in the style that I have?
Is there what I would love more than anything? Like I wish this was possible because I would love to do this. I wish. I would love it if there was like a like when you upload the SQLite file, like you can view it, but all of the data is encrypted in it. And what I'd love to do is have the encryption key in like a GitHub fucking secret key. And the only way you can like see the code like is if you
have that key.
Is if you have that key, and like so like if I on the website itself, like because the secret key is in my repository, like the data that people want to see, they can see it, but like nothing else. You know what I mean? And then like I could legit just use fucking GitHub as like a fucking database repository thing, and not have to fucking worry. That might be possible. We'll see. In the meantime, I might, because here's the thing. I would love it if I could just have a SQLite file instead of multiple JSONs. I would love to set up like a few, like have a SQLite database with a bunch of different fucking tables, and just do that. Like, just have one thing on a separate repository that isn't a part of this app, and it's just someplace I just dump all of like my data in, and if I want a new table, I make a new table, what the fuck ever. That type of shit. You know what I mean?
Hold on. I logged the user. The cool thing about this is this requests every second to that API, right?
No shit.
And then I can look. I still have this for people that want to develop with the API, just in case.
It's cool. That's awesome.
Here's that, and then the artist object, which shows all the artists. It's a part of it.
And you have this hosted through Namecheap, right?
Yeah. So on my cPanel, I got a. There we go. Right there.
Hot shit. Unironically, like, I'm gonna keep my website. I probably should keep my website hosted on.
If you want to do GitHub for now, that's totally fine. Because like, paying $648 a month is kind of not the best.
If I had a job, if I had a motherfucking job, it wouldn't be an issue. I'd pay for the year and be done with it. The problem is that I have $4 in my bank account. I don't know when I'm going to get my next the next bout of money is going to come in, and I'm not able to pay for a phone bill right now. So,
that's crazy.
No, like genuinely, like my phone service, like I'm not going to be able to
like down.
send text or send out calls.
Dude, I'm getting money by like I'm getting money at 6:20 tomorrow morning because McDonald's put me in daily pay. I will spot you $30 for a phone bill, bro.
30.
Okay.
My phone bill is $113.
The fuck? From what provider?
Google Fi.
Take that shit out. I use Visible. It's $25 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. It's $25 a month.
I cannot
no
afford
upcharges.
to switch. I cannot afford to switch right now.
Why not?
I have no job and I have $4.
Do you have to pay to port out your number from Google Fi?
I still have to finish paying off a phone, and I also have a delinquent bill of $113. I still have to pay.
That's why your bill is so high. You pay a renter's fee on that phone you have.
No, I it's not a renter's fee. It's paying off the phone. The phone will be paid off in August, and then my bill will go from $113 to, I think it'll go down to $80. I think
$80.
$80.
As soon as you pay off that phone, you let me know.
Hey, listen.
As soon as you pay that off, I will fucking get you Visible. I do not care. Visible is actually fucking exceptional. I use it every single day.
Wolfie,
it's under Verizon, so Wolfie, it's better.
Unironically, if you unironically want to like help me, I would genuinely prefer you like getting a monthly sub to on himedia.gg/donate. Whether you want to do Patreon, Twitch, fucking Discord subs, whatever. When people say they want to support me and like spot me money and shit, like I would rather have small dollar support from you over the long term than, have to ask you every once in a while for a bunch of money up front. And I feel better about it because there's it's transactional. Like I'm giving like early access and a bunch of other perks and shit. Like, it's a whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my personal feel about it. So,
okay.
I appreciate the thing on the Visible. I also appreciate the thing with the RAM. There's a non-zero chance I might take it up on you, depending on how this job interview, this job I'm interviewing.
You got to the second part, which you did say.
I did get to the second part of the interview, but
that's good.
I'm excited because it sucks because it's in person, completely in person, which is kind of mid. But
do you even have gas money?
I don't have a car, dude. I don't drive.
You walk? Or you Uber?
I walk. Walk to the highway about a quarter mile walk away. Take the number 38 bus into Wilmington, the city nearby, and then I take the bus wherever I need to go. If I have to go into Philly, I will take the bus to the train station, and then take the hour-long SEPTA ride into Philadelphia, and that's how I would get to Philly if I had a job. And since we're going to be going to Chad's Ford, I would probably, for this job, I'd probably have to take SEPTA anyways to get up there. And if not, I would have to have my girlfriend drive me every day.
Which would be a pain for her.
It would be a colossal pain for her.
Do you even have a driver's license?
No, I don't. I don't. This is a story that you get a fucking doozy out of. So,
boy,
strap in.
So hold on, let me move to my phone because I want to go get water.
You're good. I'm also sending you the page I made for supports and stuff. Yeah. So I thought it was a good idea for me to have pick a service that you want. If you want to support me on something you already have an account on, here's your options. I prefer Ko-Fi because they don't take any of my fucking money, like goddamn Patreon or Twitch or Discord.
Oh yeah, because you're not going through the third-party payment providers. It's going right directly to you.
Yeah,
that's why.
The Stripe takes a penance, but who gives a shit? Hell, the fucking Ko-Fi was how I was able to do the subathon and afford copper surgery.
Good.
But by and large, the story of like my fucking what's it called? Driving. So in the great state of Delaware.
One moment, I haven't moved to my phone yet.
Good. You know when you're ready.
You'll hear me disconnect.
Quickly. Change audio output. Alright, go ahead.
So in the great state of Delaware, we have, luckily for us, driver's ed. Driver's ed is provided in public schools to all students. When you graduate Delaware, like from a high school in the great state of Delaware, so long as you weren't a fuckhead, you will have a learner's permit and a driver's license.
Okay. Perfect.
So
Absolutely free?
Absolutely free. You don't pay a thing for it so long as you pay like the fee at the DMV to get the fucking license. The education is all inclusive. It is literally just a marking period of like actual driver's ed that during your sophomore year. And then once you turn 16, there's a second half of it, which is a driver's portion. They give you something called a blue slip after you completed it. This is shown that somebody in charge, the person in charge of the curriculum, has written off that you are competent enough to drive, that you are safe to go on the road. And then what you do is you just go to the DMV, you hand them this blue slip, and they hand you back a Class D license.
Oh.
They don't do that here in
My mother was explaining that when she was a teenager, that's what they also did.
Yeah, well, Delaware still does it, thankfully. And so...
Well, no, not my state. My state's a bitch.
Yeah. Well, so basically, this makes it so kids and families don't have to pay both time and money to have their kids learn how to drive ahead of time.
Yeah.
It is
It's easier on people.
And also because it is the curriculum is fairly it does a lot to sort of scare people into follow the fucking rules. It makes it so
If you
our drivers,
you need to
behave yourself. Yeah, the teenagers coming onto the road off rip are generally a little bit better than folks who just went to the DMV and
and paid for lessons. Yeah.
Right. So essentially, that is how our system works. Unfortunately, the game for me was rigged from the start. I was a year younger than every other person except one person in my entire grade. I was born in November of 1997, and unfortunately, my parents thought, foolishly, I was smart in their waspy hubris, and put me into pre-kindergarten at 3 years old.
I was actually in pre-K and 2 at 2.
So you understand, the difference between a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old is huge.
Wait, hold on. Let me think about this for a second.
But regardless,
I was supposed to graduate this year. So that's 12. I was put in pre-K, I think, when I was 3 or 4.
Right. So I was put in when I was 3, and so I was smaller than I was a smaller kid than everybody.
Pre-K, K1. No, it was 3. Wait,
yeah, regardless, I am recording this for a segment. So, regardless,
I would have been 4 when they put me in pre-K.
Right. Now think about the difference between a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and have a 3-year-old being around and treated equally as a bunch of 4-year-olds. I was developmentally a year behind everybody else. And so, thank God, growing up, I was a bigger kid, so I looked older than I actually was. The problem was that mentally I was always a year behind everybody, and that And that doesn't help the fact that I had undiagnosed autism,
Yeah.
ADHD, the whole fucking bit.
Yeah, the whole shebang.
So what happened was that everybody in 10th grade was getting their blue slips, and like they do it like maybe first marking period, second marking period, third marking period. They're like doing their driving. All of that is very fresh. I have to wait until my junior year, a full calendar 365 days plus because I took driver's ed in like September, October of 2011, I believe, and I didn't get onto the road until spring of 2013. So what happened
Did you not renew your driver's license since then?
No, I had my Class D license. I got my Class D license. Because so I somehow passed the driving portion, somehow, even though I was rusty for a whole fucking year and I hadn't studied or done shit for it. Regardless, I get my blue slip, and then because my parents are very negative consequence oriented, and we're trying to do anything to get my grades to turn me into an honor student because that's all they fucking demanded of me. They said, well, until your grades get up, we're not going to take you to get your driver's license. And I'm just like, okay. I didn't really want to fucking drive anyways that much. Like, it wasn't super important to me. But then summer's here. My mom is working, and we're not summer here. We're like, I think it's like May. It's like it's like a Saturday in May. In May of 2013, and I say to my mom, "Hey, Mom, you know that my blue slip has a expiration date, right?" And she says, "No, it doesn't." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's like 8 weeks." And I'm like, "No." She's like, "No, it doesn't. Why would it have an expiration date?" And I'm like, "Go look at it. Call my bluff." And she called my bluff and lost. So now my mother takes off work on a Wednesday. Thankfully, I'm off too because I think we're on spring break or some shit. And we have to go to the DMV
to get your driver's license.
To get my driver's license because they decided to wait basically until down to the wire, the 8-week expiration date on the fucking blue slip. Because they were trying to get me to get my grades up. I'm like, you put me into, like, at one point you put me into a fucking room with only with nothing in it except for a book, a lamp, and like my clothes, and that didn't get me to get my fucking grades up. So what the fuck do you expect this to do? That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what ends up happening?
I've had a person like that, and I did get my grades up, and then my grades tanked as soon as I left this guy because I was like, I'm not fucking sitting there doing his fucking way. Once I left his house, I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah.
Fuck
so,
that.
So basically, we get it, a whole day wasted, whatever, fine, whatever. So then the next part of this is done, where you have to continue your education with it. You have to go out on the road and practice and like use it, keeping up, it's a learned skill. You have to practice. By this point, I had not been behind the wheel of a car since like March. It's May at this point when we got my license. And I think my stepdad took me out to a parking lot once or twice, 2 times. And then my grandfather drove down from Concordville and took me out twice, 2 weekends in a row. And then after that, they just didn't. They never let me behind the wheel of a car. They never put any kind of effort. I said, "Hey, shouldn't I be trying to drive or something?" And then they did, and they were like, "Oh, we'll do it." They completely dropped the ball. So fast forward to fast forward to fucking 2016, 2015 or some shit. I have a seizure. 2017. I have a seizure. It gets reported in the system. Gets reported in the DMV. I get a fucking letter in the mail saying, "Hey, Evan, you're not allowed to use your driver's license unless you fucking get a thing." And I'm like, I'm living in a place with a bus stop right outside, and I walk to school every day. I don't need a fucking car. Who gives a shit? And so I just ignore it because it doesn't matter. A year later, I'm behind the wheel of a car with my stepdad when I will go to visit him. He takes me out to drive once in the automatic car that they have. Like, fine. Like, saying, like, oh yeah, we kind of, like, dropped the ball. Like, we never, like, took you out. I'm like, great, let's do it. And then he takes me out once and never does again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, fast forward to 2021, I've moved. I need to get a new ID with my actual address on it, and I get to the DMV, and they're like, "Hey, we actually can't give you a new license because you had a seizure in 2017 and never did the work for it, and you're supposed to surrender your license, so you can't get a license." And I'm like, "All right, can I just get a free ID then?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And I surrendered my license and got a free ID. Because at that point in my life, I can count literally on one hand, since I've had a license, the amount of times I have been behind the wheel of a motor vehicle, and and I wouldn't trust myself on the road. And this is the end of all of the fucking things that my parents have put me through in my life in terms of like angst and shit. This is the one thing that I can nail them on, and they can get mad that I'm bringing it up, but they can't say shit because they own up to the fact that they fucked up. And when you have something on your parents that they fucked up on, and they can't say shit to you about it, and they can't pretend it didn't happen, you will hit them in the face with that. You'll throw that in their face every chance you have, and it is the most righteous feeling on the planet.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's the story of why I don't drive. Hey, Astro. Yeah. But yes, So for me, it's like, we're having fun, to say the least, I guess. But I digress. What were we talking about? I think you were like incredulous by like the fact by like the state of my current existence.
Yeah, we were talking about payments and shit, and then
Here's the thing: like, I have like $30,000 of debt. For me, it is very much a case of like
you're screwed.
I'm screwed either way. Do you know what the minimum number a credit score can be?
No, probably 100.
300.
Maximum
is 8. Do you know what mine is right now?
300.
384.
Why?
Because I have no money. I've been unemployed for a year. And to survive for a good chunk of that time, I had to live off of debt. And I've been unable to pay back that debt.
Yeah, that would do it.
So at this present, I am just trying to get enough people to subscribe to my Ko-Fi, my Discord, or my Patreon. So I can
help
at the
pass bills for months.
I can at the very least have a cell phone to call back recruiters when they call me about a job interview.
Okay. You might have to wait a couple of days, but I can pay you the entire bill.
Like I said, don't send me $30 for like a phone bill or whatever. I would much rather, like,
I'm gonna send you the entire amount. I don't give a shit.
Listen.
Okay,
fine.
I get paid 15 an hour. I work 5-hour shifts daily. All right, because I go in for another 5-hour shift tomorrow. I'm making $75 a day, but excluding taxes. So,
and you live at home, and you live at home for free, and you don't pay for food.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
mind
you, I will help.
I'll make you a deal. Since you're dead set on paying like the whole of my phone bill this month, and I don't think I will be able to stop you, can I make a deal with you?
What do you want to do in return?
I will take the kind gesture of that money at face value, and I will not bitch or try and fight against it or like do any of that, because like that my upbringing and like my desire not to be a burden is fighting for me to do, so long as you hop onto my Ko-Fi or Patreon or Discord and pay and start a reoccurring sub, and then from then on, that's unless I ask you explicitly, that's the only that's the support you give me. You got a deal?
How much is your Ko-Fi?
My
Because I will sub to that tomorrow morning.
I believe it's $3.
Shop.
You can pay. To be fair, you can pay whatever the fuck you want. But
on Ko-Fi?
on Ko-Fi,
You don't even have memberships for Ko-Fi?
I do have memberships. So, the way it works is all roads lead back to Discord. So if you
as soon
pay,
as you pay for something on Ko-Fi, you get like a roll or whatever.
correct, and it's the same. It's the same thing with Patreon. It's the same thing with Twitch subs, and it's all set up in such a way you get access to. And here, I'll show you actually on my Discord here proper. If you look at the stream.
All right. Hold on.
Sorry.
Let me pull up your stream.
I can just stream in here to make it easier on you.
I'm watching your Twitch.
Okay, fair enough.
Might as well give you a viewership while I'm waiting.
This is Winston's Court. This is where I publish early access videos. This is where I publish.
You want to know what's funny?
Clips.
Your Twitch just cut out on my end. Got a buffering error.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, there we go. Now it's loaded.
Yeah. So here's the. Yep.
Yeah, you post like, yeah. I think I was a part of that because I was a Twitch sub at some point.
Yeah, you get access to it. Yeah, like I made it so like people who are Twitch subs also get access to it. But I also have it set up, to use fucking server subscriptions and shit.
Yeah.
I got so tired. I realized like, why the fuck would I like people watch on the platform of choice, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. The community is in Discord. Why would I split the paying community and the normal community between Discord and like another service? When I can just utilize all the Discord integrations that these services offer and just have have a little line item that says, "Hey,
everything in the Discord." Yeah.
Hey, perks and benefits are serviced through our Discord, so as to not split the community.
Yeah. Yep. What? Do you want me to do dinner?
You're gonna cook.
And look. It's out there. Oh, never mind. I'm a dumbass. It's in here. She's gonna clean my work clothes. Here. I have my other one right here. Both of them are on my pants out here.
Oh,
So we'll all start getting steaks done.
You need to get that laundry in.
I don't have any other clothes to get.
hey, Wolfie.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you want to put a pin in this for now and like hang out a little later, either tonight or tomorrow? It sounds like you're.
I mean, I can talk while I'm cooking steaks. Like,
fair enough. I was unironically actually gonna go pop off for a little bit and clean the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to be rude. That's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, understandable, brother.
Thank you so much for the express rundown. I feel a lot more confident with it now because I just need to connect the concepts. Oh, for sure. I'd love it if you I'd love for you to
your paycheck to anybody.
Hey,
You heard me.
I'd love to go through I'd love to go through your Spotify overlay and see how you did all that. That looks really interesting. But yeah. I know your mom's talking in the background and shit, so I don't.
yeah, you're fine, dude.
Yeah, but
You know what? That I do it all the time.
Well, I understand that, but I am very studious about consent and people's consent of being recorded and broadcasted live on the internet. So you might like that. That's a whole thing for me.
She doesn't care if she's on stream. She don't give a frick.
Thanks for the education session. Thanks for the education session, Wolfie. I appreciate it.
You don't have your phone with you. Oh, I gotta pull up my work schedule. I sent it to her earlier. Saturday 4 to 8.
You're good. I'm a bounce. I'll catch you a little later. All right.
Sunday I'm off, and then I don't know what's Monday. I have to. I'll know what I'll have Sunday.
What are you working on?
Tomorrow. I have to,
4 to 9?
yeah, it's 4 to 9.
Then 4 to 9 on Friday?
Yeah.
I want you to just write it down on
Okay.
from now on.
But yeah, I'm a bounce, Wolfie. I'm gonna let you get to it, and I will catch you. God knows I'm gonna be playing a fuck off amount of Elden Ring for the next week, so I'll be around. Oh yeah, that's right. Your mother's there.
Like right now. No.
My apologies for the swears, ma'am.
I'm currently only in my boxers for information why I'm saying that. Thank you.
He's 18 years old, but I gotta stuff on his damn clothes down for him.
I'll catch y'all
My
later.
mental age is not my real age. Let's just say that.
I completely understand what you mean. That was very much something I was dealing with up until I was 21 years old.
She literally just said I had a mental age of a 10-year-old.
Trust me, they're gonna test you on the 9th.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, wait, Wolfie, are you gonna do the fucking meme of wearing a tuxedo to your autism diagnosis?
No, I already have my autism diagnosis and shit from a different person. Or I need to get it sent to us before the 9th, which I need to do online.
Which means you need to get your ass in gear and get it done. You're 18 years old.
Hey,
I can't do it for you anymore.
hey, back off!
Put your ass if you don't get it done.
Hey, my cats are going after each other. No!
They can play fight.
Okay,
They
later, bro.
didn't look like they were about to play.
Go put these back in the closet.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching tonight. Today, I'm going to go do some housekeeping and make things nice. I will catch you guys a little bit later. And I will see you guys some other time. Good luck. Auf Wiedersehen. Bonsoir. Parting is such sweet.